Welcome to Byte-Sized Tech, where we blend casual conversations with insightful discussions on the latest in technology and gadgets.
Great to be diving in again.
Today, while we're navigating the latest from the tech world, think big company earnings, some surprising job market stuff, and that big game delay everyone's talking about.
Yeah, lots happening. We've looked through the reports, the calls, trying to pull out what really matters.
Exactly. No finance degree needed here, just the key takeaways. So let's kick things off with earnings. Apple, Amazon. Felt a bit different from the cheers for Microsoft and Meta, right?
Definitely a different vibe. And what's interesting, I think, is how these global trade issues are sort of creeping in.
Oh, yeah. How so?
Well, Apple specifically mentioned a $900 million hit from tariffs.
$900 million.
Okay.
But for Apple, that's context matters, right?
It does. It's actually less than 2% of their total revenue, so, not massive in the grand scheme. But it highlights that vulnerability, doesn't it? These complex global supply chains.
Makes you wonder if they'll have to raise prices eventually.
Mm-hmm.
Though they usually avoid that mid-cycle.
They do. And they've been proactive, remember? Moving some production to India. That's confirmed now. It's part of mitigating these risks.
And hedging their bets a bit. Good point. But still, that softness in China.
Yeah.
It's lingering, even with subsidies.
Yeah, and Huawei's still a real competitor there, no doubt.
So,
but, zoom out a bit. Apple's still got, 70% of the premium phone market in China? That's huge.
True. Can't forget that.
And they're growing elsewhere. Emerging markets are looking up. Plus, the whole shift to making their own modem chips. That's a big strategic move.
More control, better margins maybe, cutting out Qualcomm eventually.
Potentially, yeah. And sourcing more from TSMC in Arizona, that's another piece. Though how that impacts actual handset costs, still a bit of an unknown.
But they're masters of the supply chain, right? Tim Cook's background.
Absolutely. Right. Operationally, geopolitically, they know how to navigate. So yeah, maybe a challenging year short term, but longer term probably still looks pretty good.
Okay, makes sense. Now, Amazon, their operating income guidance. That seemed to spook people a bit. Billions lower than forecast.
Yeah, that definitely raised some eyebrows.
Is that also tariffs hitting the e-commerce side, the .com business? Or is AWS slowing down?
The consensus seems to be AWS is likely still strong. Cloud spending isn't really showing signs of a major slowdown there.
So it's more general uncertainty?
Probably. Just broader economic worries hitting consumer spending. Plus, the potential impact of tariffs on all the stuff they sell online.
Right. And we should remember, Amazon often guides conservatively, don't they?
They do. They often beat the high end of their own guidance, so maybe not as dire as it first sounded.
And their ad business seems like a real engine. Just keeps growing.
Oh, absolutely. 18% growth there. That's huge. And it contributes a lot to their operating income. High margin, too.
And maybe more resilient to tariffs on goods?
You'd think so. Even if some third-party sellers struggle with supply chains, others will likely step in and, they still need to advertise to reach Amazon's customers.
Makes sense. Plus, Amazon's still spending big on the future, right?
Yeah.
Project Kuiper, delivery drones, all that stuff.
Exactly. Innovation doesn't stop. Kuiper, their satellite internet thing. Delivery improvements, that costs money up front.
Yeah, Kuiper. I heard that had a bit of a rocky start. Is that a big drain right now?
Well, it's definitely a massive long-term investment. We're talking maybe $10 billion overall. Each rocket launch is like $100 million, and they need dozens.
Wow. Okay. High stakes.
Very. But the goal is commercial service by the end of this year. If that happens, you could see real revenue starting in, say, 2026. It's a big bet on providing internet everywhere.
A potential game changer, if it works out. Okay, so big tech's navigating tricky waters. Let's pivot a bit. The tech skills gap. Feels like we hear about this constantly.
It's a really persistent issue. You've got technology advancing so fast, AI, automation, and the workforce skills just aren't keeping pace. Add in an aging workforce globally, it creates this chasm, potentially hitting productivity.
And it's weird, right? Because you hear about tech layoffs, but then companies are desperate for certain skills. It seems contradictory.
It does, but it suggests maybe it's more of a reshuffling. Companies are letting go of some roles, but scrambling to find people with these new skills. Skills are becoming obsolete faster.
And the job numbers in the core IT sector are kind of flat, which seems to back that up.
Yeah, it points to this disconnect. It's not necessarily fewer tech jobs overall.
So where are the tech people going? Or the jobs?
Well, that's another interesting angle. Tech talent is getting sort of subsumed, maybe, into other industries.
Like manufacturing. Healthcare.
Precisely. Everywhere needs tech expertise now. It's not just siloed in tech companies. And even within existing job titles, the required skills are changing rapidly because of automation and AI.
Like that Duolingo example. Automating first before hiring.
Right. Using tech to boost what they already have before just adding headcount, it really shifts the focus.
So the takeaway is constant learning, upskilling for individuals and companies.
Absolutely. It's a huge opportunity, really, for companies to invest in training their current people. Might be smarter than chasing this small pool of external experts all the time.
Makes sense. All right, one last quick topic. Gaming, Grand Theft Auto the Sixth. The delay.
Ah, yes. That definitely made waves. Take-Two's stock dipped.
Yeah, saw that. So what's the read there? Just needs more time in the oven.
Seems like it. Most analysts think it's about Rockstar hitting their own, incredibly high-quality bar and maybe trying to avoid excessive crunch for the developers, which is a good thing.
Yeah, definitely. But it doesn't really diminish the game's potential, does it?
Not in the long run, no. The anticipation is just massive. We're talking about GTA V selling, what was it?
Over 210 million copies, I think. It's insane.
Just staggering. It outsells entire franchises. It's really in a class of its own, maybe second only to Minecraft globally.
So investors getting worried about a delay seems a bit short-sighted, maybe.
You could argue that, yeah, given the history and the sheer scale. When Rockstar releases it, it's going to be huge, regardless.
And just remind folks, what's the core of GTA 6?
It's that big, single-player open world, this time in a fictional Miami Vice City, rich story, immersive world.
Usual Rockstar magic.
Hopefully. And then, of course, the massive online multiplayer component that keeps these games alive for years.
Right, so patience is key for the fans. Well, okay, this has been quite the tour. Big tech financials, the skills shift, a gaming giant.
It really shows how interconnected everything is, doesn't it? Global economics hits earnings, that affects jobs and skills. Even entertainment like games has these big ripples.
Definitely feels like a moment of transition. Lots of challenges, but opportunities too. Makes you wonder what other curveballs are coming.
It does. And seeing how companies react to Apple tweaking supply chains, Amazon building new infrastructure like Kuiper, Rockstar balancing quality and timelines, it's fascinating strategy in action.
So for you listening, I guess the message is stay informed, stay adaptable.
Yeah.
This tech landscape keeps changing under our feet.
Yeah, absolutely. And maybe ask yourself, with all this change, what are you doing to keep your skills sharp and relevant?
Great point. Well, that's all the time we have for this deep dive. Thanks for tuning in to Byte-Sized Tech.
Always a pleasure.
If you enjoyed the episode, please do like, comment, share, and subscribe for more fun tech discussions.